Jules has actually written an article on our website about Kylian Mbappe and Thomas Tuchel, their feud threatening to derail PSG's quest for a Champions League title. Jules, I read the article. The thing that stood out to me the most is this clear the air discussion that the two seem to have in between these last two games. Is the air really cleared?
That's what we've been briefed, that they've all moved on now and it's in the past, and there's no leftovers, if you want, from that clash that we had last weekend. The issue is it's not the first one, and it's probably not the last one, because Thomas Tuchel had taken off Kylian Mbappe before, and Kylian Mbappe reacted pretty much the same way as he did against Montpellier, by sulking and having that face where clearly he was telling you a lot about what he thought of Thomas Tuchel at that time. So this is always, I think that's always there. And it's then whether you think that that's not an issue and they can go on this season and win a lot of things and go find the Champions League even if they don't really see eye to eye, or if you're on the other side and you think this is an issue. This is an issue because it's your manager and it's one of your two best players really, with Mbappe and Neymar. So I don't know how negative this can be. I do think it's not a very good thing. Although I'm pretty sure there's plenty of teams where you've got great players who don't really get on with a coach or sporting director, as we saw with Lionel Messi and Eric Abidal the last 2 days. But I just don't know how much it could affect the team negatively in the weeks to come.
Jules, Mbappe played 90 minutes, got the start midweek. Are we to believe that that's the proof that everything is all well and fine?
Yes, maybe. I mean, he would have really have taken something from Thomas Tuchel to take him off again early and not let him play the whole game. And on Tuesday night, every time the fourth official was getting his board out for a PSG substitution, we were all looking like, which number will appear on the board? Will it number 7? Will it be another number? And it was never Kylian Mbappe's number. So that was funny. But I think Thomas Tuchel is a very intelligent guy, and I think he will know how to manage him from now on. It was interesting that Kylian Mbappe didn't apologize to start with, although he admitted to Tuchel that he overreacted when he saw that his number was up the board and he was not happy with the decision, of course. But Tuchel is not one for sentiments, really, feelings. He's a very disciplined manager. We saw that at Dortmund, and it's either his way or no way, and that might eventually cost him his job, because if at the end of the season Kylian Mbappe says to Leonardo, listen, it's me or him, I can guarantee you that, I mean, I don't even need to tell you who PSG and Leonardo will go for between Mbappe and Tuchel. But right now, Tuchel thinks, this is my team. It's me who decides who comes off, who plays, who starts, who plays 5 minutes or 10 minutes, who doesn't play at all. And I don't think he will budge on that at all.
I've got one of those faces. Doesn't mean I'm sulking. You just got one of those faces, you know what I mean? The Mbappe face. The thing I don't understand, and going back to what Jules wrote, is he didn't feel the need to, whilst admitting he overreacted, he didn't feel the need to say, look, I'm sorry about that. And
should he have apologised?
Well, it was a little bit, I mean, there's nothing wrong with saying to your manager, listen, sorry, I was a little bit over the top there. It was the heat of the moment, but I understand what you're trying to do. But clearly, I think Mbappe's having a difficult time from the outside, it seems, understanding what Tuchel's trying to do. Because he's now put the manager in a problem. As Joe said, everybody's looking at the board going up. And going forward for the really important part of the season now, particularly in the Champions League, for the games leading up to it, he's going to feel pressured not to take him off, because he doesn't want to spark a reaction that's going to have a negative effect going into these big Champions League games that got coming up against Dortmund.
You're kind of saying he's managing scared.
But at the end of the day, we'll find out. We'll find out, because here's the point I've got. He's a prized asset, right? You need him. If you are going to win the Champions League and they have a chance, you're going to need him. Now, what if one of these games, and I'm not going to say meaningless games, but games that they're winning comfortably in a league that they're probably going to win comfortably, what in the last 10 or 15 minutes, your prize asset gets absolutely smashed in two and can't play for the rest of the season? That's a decision now, and it's ifs and buts, but that's a decision now that Thomas Tuchel's going to have to make. Do I leave him on for these games when clearly I should be trying to protect him, or do I take him off and face the wrath of Mbappe overreacting again? Steve?
Thomas Tuchel, you can blame Mbappe and say he shouldn't have made the faces or he shouldn't be going in the half. This is down to Thomas Tuchel.
What should he do?
Why?
Because you've got to try and put fires out before they start. He should have grabbed Mbappe.
Wait, nobody on this desk defended...
Finish. He should have grabbed Mbappe and said, look, I want to make sure that you're going to be okay for the real big games. Yes, I want you to score goals, but if we're in a position where the game's over, I don't want you getting hurt. You're doing one of those.
He must have told him
Does that have to be explained?
Why do they have to have clear the air talks if he'd already explained this to him? Please tell me that.
The thing for me is, and we've seen similar kind of strops from Neymar in the past, and Khalifi comes out and says no more of that at PSG. The culture of this club is going to change, and then you have this. And for me, Tuchel, either he takes the opportunity to establish his authority on the team, take him off. If you're upset with it, then we'll deal with that separately. But on the understanding that you have the backing of the chairman, but you don't pander to Mbappe, albeit he's your star.
Starting him and playing him the next 90 minutes is totally caving.
I have no problem you playing him. What I do think where he went wrong is this kind of on the sidelines and putting your arm around him, and it seems almost as though you're pleading with Mbappe to be a friend. If he's upset, send him down the tunnel and we deal with that separately. But this kind of, I'm desperate to put my arm around you. I thought that was weak.
Too late.
Jules,
it was weak.
Jules, I presume Kylian Mbappe's an articulate enough young man that he understands what Thomas Tuchel's trying to do here and trying to protect him for some really big games coming up.
Yes, I would think so. The problem with Kylian Mbappe is that he wants to play every minute of every league game, of every French Cup game, of every French League Cup game, of every national team game. He wants to go to the Euros and play every game, every minute. He wants to go to the Olympics with the under-23 and play every minute of every game there as well. And then come back to PSG or wherever he would play next season. And then again, and I think he's in that mindset right now of he feels that he's 21, but he should not be taken off by Thomas Tuchel. He said to Tuchel in that Clear the Air meeting, he said, you never take Di Maria off, you never take Neymar off, why do you take me off then? Why don't you take them off instead of me? And in a way, I get his point, but I also get your point and everything we've been saying now, that, you know, it could be counterproductive and dangerous to let him play every single minute because, like you said, if he gets injured and misses the rest of the season, this is a disaster. Mm-hmm. Also, you don't want him to get too tired before the Dortmund game or before the Lyon game this weekend on Sunday night, for example. And those big games that are coming up, not so much against Montpellier where you're already 4-0 up, because that's when he took him off. They were already 4-0 up, and Mbappe, by the way, had already scored a goal in that game. So I think Mbappe needs to understand now that, yes, you're a superstar, yes, you're the next big thing, and you're only 21, but there's also a logic in the squad that Cavani and Icardi wanted to come on. Tuchel wanted them to play a little bit in that game against Montpellier, and that's why he took him off.
See, this is complete and utter bad coaching. This is what this is. You're giving yourself a problem. If he takes Mbappe and tells him, explains to him what he's going to be doing, I want to keep you, the things I said before, then when Mbappe comes off, giving it the face and everything else, you know what? Tommy Tuchel can stamp on him. Tommy Tuchel can.
You don't think he's ever explained that to him before?
Tommy Tuchel can tread all over this guy and say, hey, I'm in charge. The reason he can't do that is because he hasn't set it up properly. He's put his own head on the block, so now he's caused a problem for himself by not thinking about it.
Mbappe's acting out, and we're pointing at Tuchel?
I tell you what, Stevie, I would be absolutely gobsmacked if Thomas Tuchel hasn't taken the young man to the side and said, listen,
why have we got all this problem if he did?
Because Jules has just explained to you, he's a headstrong young man that thinks he should be playing every minute of every game. When Tuchel, I would imagine, clearly explained to him, listen, forget Neymar and Icardi and all these other guys, Di Maria. I need you 100% fit and sharp for the remainder of this season. If he hasn't done that, then...
Well, I'll tell you what then, if he has...
Yes.
Then now we're seeing that Thomas Tuchel doesn't have the strength of character and the power over the dressing room and the players that he should have. If we've got all these clear the air talks and he's trying to be nice and he's trying to do this and that, There you go.
Listen, you go
straight away tells you that.
You go to PSG with this lot of players, and you're going to, as any coach is going to struggle to have the power within this group of players because there's so many big hitters and so many egos in there that I think for any coach it's a problem.
I think you have to help yourself, though, Craig.
Thanks so much for watching ESPN on YouTube. And for more sports highlights and analysis, be sure to download the ESPN app. And for premium content and live streaming, subscribe to ESPN Plus.